I had the strangest dream. And you were there. And you were... Okay, screw it. You can only take a reference so far. Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. In the previous episode, we entered the subterranean realm of Subrosia, found the Temple of Seasons, which had somehow found its way down there after being sent underground by Onox. Okay, maybe it wasn't somehow so much as obvious. But then found the legendary Rod of Seasons. Then, after a brief stop off to sample the local dance craze, we blessed the Rod of Seasons with the power to summon winter. And now we're going to explore more of the Woods of Winter to see just what we can do with... Oh, hey, it's this guy. That's it. You have the Rod of Seasons. If that Rod of Seasons held the powers of the season spirits, you could change the seasons. But I see it only has the power of winter. Swing the rod from atop that stump. Its power will be unleashed. Do you understand? Well, I mean, the season spirits explained it already, but if the Temple of Seasons is sunk into some land called I never said what land it was. There must be other entrances to the Subrosian land. You must find them. Perhaps you'll even go to the Temple of Seasons again. So we part. Well, either he's heard of Subrosia before, or he's got some connection with someone. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, stand atop a tree stump, swing the Rod of Seasons, and winter has come. You notice, for one, that, the enemies have changed a bit, but winter brings on quite a few different elements to this area. Oh, wow, that was a mistake. Looks like we gotta kill another 30 enemies before Maple shows up again. That sucks. So now this little water source here is frozen over, meaning we can cross over to the other side now. That is one of many key things that winter brings. Of course, you knew that one already. You also see these snowdrifts here that pile up in places. They can create obstacles. They can also open up pathways if you, in very specific locations. Take out this pea hat. These snow piles here are another thing that winter brings with it. And we can't do anything with those just yet either, so they're just obstacles at the moment. Detour over here for a Great Fairy. The fact that this is actually the only one sitting in the overworld itself. Probably a nod to Zelda 1. There's a Great Fairy in the woods in that game that you even access by entering its screen from the east. Considering this game borrowed aspects from a canned Zelda 1 remake, it's not really a surprise. And here is yet another thing that winter brings. Some very specific trees, when they lose their leaves, will basically retract and you can slip by them, creating openings. And so now we enter this other part of the woods, and what the hell, summer? Yeah, the seasons are really messed up. Mind that like, by the way. Let's get the bombs out. But real fast, let's check down here. Well, what do we have here? That certainly looks dungeon-like. We'll just have to find our way over there. And so, first let's blow this open. What's through here? Cave, and some pits. Oh, hello, a chest. What do we have here? 30 rupees. That is nice. This is a little reward for going a little out of your way. That wasn't all that hard to find. Keep your distance as usual. Good thing the likes move rather slow. They'd be even more of a pain. And head onward. There's another tree stump. Oh, that's interesting. What's in here? Sunken Falls. Headwaters in Sunken City. Oh, we've never seen a sunken city, and we can't swim over there as is, so, it looks like it's another thing we're gonna have to come back for. What's over here? What does this say? Santa welcome. So, other than the fact that apparently Santa Claus exists in the Zelda universe, which brings up a whole host of questions and maybe actually a rather interesting, allusion to, the series' original roots and some early facts about it, but I'll get into that some other time. You see, this is how snowdrifts can occasionally help you. If you see footprints on top of them, that means you can walk there if you can find a way up there. And so now, we can follow this over here and, well, pull a Santa. You startled me! Winter sets in all of a sudden, and then down my chimney comes... You're not Santa! You don't scare me! Now take this shovel and clear the snow from my walkway. You can keep the shovel when you're done. And we got a shovel. Although as mundane as this tool sounds, it's actually very useful. Now we can use this to dig these snowdrifts, and well, you can do more than that, because actually in most places in the overworld, you just press the button and dig a hole. There's actually quite a few interesting mechanics surrounding this. Well, not really mechanics so much as understanding how they work. You see, you can get a random pickup from uncovering the dirt here. It's usually just a green rupee, or sometimes a red 5 rupee, or a recovery heart. But there is a uncommon chance you'll uncover one of 2 weak enemies when you do this. Or rarely, oh, there's one of them. That's called just a beetle, I believe, even though it's got 4 legs and looks more like an arachnid than a beetle. Goodbye. And very rarely, you'll uncover a giant blue rupee worth 100. Yeah, so theoretically, if you find a screen that's got a lot of diggable ground, you can rack up an infinite supply of rupees over time, although it'll take a while. Anyway, real quick fun fact, bit of trivia. The lady in there is named Holly, because apparently the team couldn't pass up on the chance for a joke like that. Anyway, further south, it's back to the fall section of the Woods of Winter. Yeah, I know, it doesn't make sense, but it's not supposed to make sense when you got an evil madman, warlock, black knight thing kidnapping oracles of seasons. Anyway, something interesting among these. Oh yeah. See, I thought that was true. I thought I was onto something about that. I remembered. You see, you know that trick with the abominable walls? How when you touch it with when you touch a wall, you can blow open with your sword and make a different sound. Same applies for one of these little trees that has something under it. But you see, not all old men are as kindly as the ones we've been finding. I thank you for paying to fix my door. And he takes 50 rupees from us. That itself is another nod to Zelda 1, in which and occasionally the old men you'd find in caves and downstairs and such would occasionally demand that you pay to fix a door you just opened. You know, there's apparently a bush or a rock wall can be a door. But anyway, you know, just more nods to Zelda 1. So you got to be a little careful when you find those old men. It's a bit of a risk. That blue moblin, you saw a blue moblin back there a second ago. It took 3 hits to kill. Yeah, nothing too complicated. But anyway, we got another piece of heart here, and well, it's surrounded by water and a rock we can't lift. So looks like another one we're gonna have to come back for, unfortunately. Tree stump here. This will open our way. But real quick, let's head back off to the right here. Because you see, not all water sources freeze in the winter. Sometimes you'll just have a thin layer of cracked ice, and if you stand on it too long, the obvious happens. So just, you know, it's another neat little thing. And I gotta say, it's really, really cool how each season brings so many different things that they can do. That the developers were able to do with them. You know, it's not just 1 or 2 little things that starts to become mundane eventually. It's just a whole bunch of different elements that mesh with each other really well. Let's see if we can get a recovery heart from the ground real fast. Come on. No dice apparently. But since we have the shovel, now we can remove these snowdrifts and actually get through here. Those are levers, by the way. Red ones take 2 hits, blue take 3. They pop up nearby and follow you around. They behave like the red levers in Zelda 1 and in other similar Zelda games compared to the blue ones in Zelda 1, which just kind of wandered around on their own. There's a recovery heart. Off to the east, it's back to the summer section of the woods, and what's this? We got ourselves a new type of seed. You got mystery seeds. What they do is a mystery. Guard them on many things. Open your seed satchel to use them. And so, we just go into here. You can select mystical seeds through the menu now. And if you remember, that kid in Horon Village said that owl statues react interestingly if you place a certain type of seed on them. Well, I guess you knew that was coming. Do not forget to give me mystery seeds. And so every time we run into an owl statue from here on out, we'll be able to find something. We'll be able to find out something interesting. Now, real fast, let's use this tree stump since it's here. And we can change the season to winter and enter this cave down here. Unfortunately, there's, well, other than that fairy, there's nothing really of note in here. I guess it's good for a quick heal, though. But now, here we are, we found our way around. And our second dungeon is just through here. And with enough time to spare, let's delve in, shall we? Welcome to Level 2, The Snake's Remains. Really nice and atmospheric, isn't it? So we want to start by heading through the west here. Mine the blade traps. We have some green Zols popping up through the ground. There's kind of a snake-shaped, it's kind of a snake-shaped face or something like that. I don't know. Inside this chest is 5 rupees. Well, it's something. Through here we have ropes. I'm not entirely sure why they're named this, but these snake-like enemies will move around aimlessly until they see you, at which point they'll give chase very quickly. Fortunately, they only take 1 hit to take care of, so all you need to do is hit them once, and they're dead. And we can get this key and head onward. So the dungeons are starting to get a little more complicated from here on out, although, to be honest, the gnarled root dungeon was rather simple, so nowhere to really go but up from there. Well, complexity-wise, not connotation-wise, the gnarled root dungeon is still very well designed. Lighting these torches opens the door, though I'd imagine you saw that coming. Careful through here, we have more green Zols, and these torches shoot fireballs. If you remember in some of the earlier Zelda games, namely in Zelda 1, the statues would occasionally shoot fireballs. Another puzzle here, ropes dropping from the ceiling, no real threat though. If you are feeling particularly careful though, you can always just equip your shield and stick it in front of you. Defeating the enemies here doesn't make anything appear, but instead we gotta push that block to match the pattern. And there's our compass! What does it tell us? This dungeon certainly covers more vertical distance than the gnarled root dungeon does. There's a boss about midway up. Yes, this, well, if all you have is the compass without the map, there's not a whole lot I can tell you. So now we're gonna head due north here. Keep in mind the wooden shield can't block fireballs. More ropes. I mean, this is a snake's remains. Or, well, clearly this isn't exactly a snake's remains because this is very clearly artificially built and made out of some kind of man-made substances instead of being a giant snake, which would honestly be kind of gruesome. But anyway, you guys see that, right? A block formation shaped like an arrow. Torches along the wall here. I wonder if... Yep. See, not all bombable walls are so obvious. Well, you know, as obvious as that can... Yeah. Interesting, these bonus rupees here in this secret room. You notice this room doesn't show up on the map. You notice there's no room marked out on the map here. These bonus rupees are rather interesting. Every one you pick up will be randomly worth 1, 5, 10, or 20. And as you can see, I'm not getting very lucky with them. Then you can rack up a whole lot of rupees through here. And it's just, you know, if you know where to look, you can really pick up a lot of them really fast in this game. But again, there are things to spend them on. And so now we want to head north. These are hard hat beetles, you see. Just taking a swing at them doesn't cause any damage whatsoever. Hitting them with their shield just bumps them away too. How do you defeat them? Well, we got these pits here. And, goodbye. And now we can go through here. Here's something a little interesting. You see, these moblins are set up in a position so that we can't really reach them most of the time. So what do we have to do? Chuck bombs at them. There's a little bit of prediction involved in hoping that they they walk toward where the bomb is and they don't walk away when you throw it. Or you guys get what I mean, right? Fortunately, the moblins drop bombs when you kill them, and these interesting-looking bushes here actually grow over time and give you bombs. And as well, keep in mind, this game does have a Z-axis, so the bomb will need to be on the ground, or it won't count. So, if things are getting a little dicey, one thing to keep in mind. You know, I don't always keep the sword on the B button, guys. I prefer to have it on B when I'm using it, but I'm not that rigid. So, when most enemies, when you hit them with a boomerang, they get stunned, which makes it awfully convenient. It just, in this case, where we can just stun them with the boomerang and then blow them up, revealing this chest containing the power bracelet. Hold the button and press the D-pad to lift heavy objects. That's something we've been needing for a while, isn't it? And so now we can lift all these pots and rocks and everything that we haven't been able to move before because they were too heavy. So let's get this hard hat beetle out of the way because we don't want them interfering with our heavy lifting. Down I go. Worth mentioning, to pull these heavy objects in this game, you need to grab an object and then pull and then press the button away from it. I want to keep that in mind. In this chest, meanwhile, is a dungeon map. Already, we had the map, compass, and dungeon item, and we've only explored not even a third of the dungeon, I don't think. So we still have quite a bit to go in the Snake's Remains. Although, actually, if you notice, this dungeon, not only is it, this dungeon kind of pulls several inspirations because of the fact that it kind of looks like a snake, you know. There was a dungeon in Zelda 1 that kind of looked like a snake. There was, the Tail Cave in Link's Awakening, although the tail part didn't stretch around as far back as this one does. And also, the vaguely crescent shape of this dungeon is a callback to level 2 in Zelda 1, which was shaped like a crescent moon. Yeah, go figure, you know? Although, the dungeon item doesn't correspond with any of them whatsoever, because, the power bracelet. Let's not go on a tangent. Let's head eastward here, shall we? Let's take care of this. Through here. And so, this door opens, leading us onward. Can we do a little more? I think we can. Very careful around here. These giant blade traps will make things very difficult. And, yeah, you want to avoid them. Small key in here. Just a little further. Let's see, we want to head south here, right? Yes, we do. These tumblers are a little interesting. We can't push them normally. See, what you want to do is hold the button the power bracelet is on, and then you'll be able to move it. Oh, and don't let yourself get squashed, because, yeah, you might as well, it's as if you fell into a pit. So let's push this out of the way. Get rid of these keys, pains in the ass that they are. What do we got up here? And we find ourselves back outside. Well, that's interesting. Oh, wait, I almost forgot this chest. There's a gacha seed inside. And if you notice now, this extended part of this rock face here kind of makes up the body of the snake, along with these couple caves in its side that I'm not sure how they squashed those and the dungeon in here, to be honest. Space compression or something like that, I guess. Down here, here's the west end of the dungeon. So now, let's take care of these ropes, open up the way for us. We have a business scrub here. Greetings! Here's the deal, 10 bombs for 30 rupees. Well, we already got 10 of them, so we don't need any right now. But you're going to want to have them topped off because that's the wrong button. Because through here, we have a quick puzzle. You see, we need to get to that center chest as quickly as possible, blowing up all these blocks in the way. If you take too long, the chest will vanish. Worse yet, if you take a wrong path a couple too many times, see, bomb was on the Z-axis there, didn't blow that open, that could be trouble. If you take too long to get there, the chest will disappear, and you can also run out of bombs, so you want to be careful of that. I'm going to get hit, aren't I? Yeah, I got hit, but it was only for half a heart, fortunately. The bombs in Zelda 1 take off 2 hearts, I believe. Wait, or do they? No, they don't hurt you at all. I'm thinking of something else. They do hurt you in A Link to the Past in other games, though, but apparently they have a very forgiving hitbox for you in the Oracle games. We finally got a small key here. So now we work our way back here. This dungeon's going by rather quickly, isn't it? We're already just about halfway done. Sort of. And there's another green Zol there. And that is the entire first half of the Snake's Remains already. And so, well, I think we reached a good stopping point, huh? Next time when Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons, we're going to take out... Next time when Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons, we're going to take care of the second half of the dungeon. See you guys then, huh?